So what am I doing next in Eurorack? Well, today we are checking out a big box of cool stuff that I got from Befaco. So it's a big box with fun Eurorack stuff, and we'll take a look what's inside it a little later here. So going forward, I will actually be expanding the Eurorack from 6U to 12U. I got a bunch of cool modules here, and I will also do a very cool thing, which I alluded to in the previous videos. I will be using this little device here, the Digitact, more and more to sequence stuff on the Eurorack. And to do that, I have something secret planned for you guys on the 3rd of May. So come back then to check it out. It's going to be really cool. And what have I learned so far on this journey? Well, let me just impart one little piece of advice. You don't have to have a lot of modules to do something with Eurorack, but you will probably want to add modules over time if you really go into it. It is addictive, just like Scott said, I think it's like the first video or second video I did. However, you can do a lot with few modules, and you can also supplement or add stuff that aren't Eurorack to your system to make sort of a semi-Eurorack system. For example, in my previous video I used the Bastel Dude in order to mix everything, so I didn't have a dedicated mixer. Now that's being rectified, but I did use that and it worked really nicely. So you can always kind of work around it, and that's the beauty. Because everything is patchable, there's just so much you can do with few items. But ultimately what I found really exciting with Eurorack was just taking my knowledge of synthesizers to the next level. You know, the way that you have to think about Eurorack is quite different from a traditional synth, and I feel like I learn a lot about different types of functions, what they do, how to make it sound a particular way, and I feel that's just very entertaining for myself, and I hope to translate some of that into fun content on this channel, because the purpose of this channel is to check out cool gear, to make some music, to make some sounds, to explore synthesizers. Now let's go and have a look at all of these cool little modules here that I was sent from Befaco. So first up here we have the Rampage, and this is the module that I'm most excited about. You know, everybody talks about mats from Make Noise being like the module that you have to have, together with maybe clouds. And while I did bite the bullet on the clouds and I kind of went for it, I thought that the Rampage would be more interesting to kind of try out and even do some demos of. So the reason why I wanted something like this is because I thought it would be really nice to have a lot of modulation options on one unit, a lot of possibilities. This is far beyond my knowledge level at the moment, so I'll be looking at DivKid's video on the Rampage a lot to kind of figure it out and understand exactly what it can and can't do and all the finer details. So don't expect like an in-depth review here soon, but I'll probably show some basic techniques in upcoming Eurorack with Bo videos. Next up we have the Hex Mix. So the Hex Mix was actually something that I really needed and wanted for my system, because as you've seen in previous videos, I didn't have any mixer, and I really wanted to test out and see what it's like to have its own dedicated mixer inside of the Eurorack. I think it'll be a lot smoother. So this is more straightforward than the Rampage, obviously. And this is a very like DJ inspired mixer. So you have a lot of control on it. Now, it's not something that everybody needs in their Eurorack, but I thought it was really cool. I kind of like the idea of having a lot of hands-on control, even when it comes to like just mixing stuff. So you have pans, you have 6 channels, you have panning, you have EQ with high, mid, and lows. You have mute, I think these are the mute switches, yeah. You have master here, master volume. And this module actually goes really well with another module that Befaco sent over, which is the Hex Pander. And I'm gonna show you that module right now, because I think it's a really clever idea. Now these modules do take up a fair bit of space. You know, I'm not sure what I think about that. So this is the Hex Pander. And as you can see here, here's a ton of different things. You have left and right main outputs, headphones, volume control, pre-fader listen, aux sends, 3 different aux sends here. Now an alternative to this big output module is that you just go for like Befaco or other manufacturers have these small output modules, and you might not even need an output module, honestly, because it depends a little bit. I think it's It's nice utility. Most seem to go for it, so I guess there's like a point to it. I've just ran my stuff out of the Eurorack straight into whatever sound card I'm using. However, that does mean that the signal will be really hot and might not be suitable for every situation. So, and one of the really cool things here with the way this is set up, let me just see if I can show you. So the idea is that you place them in a 6U format. So basically, instead of having them beside each other, you have them on top of each other like this. That makes it so that you get like a very traditional mixer inside of Eurorack, a very linear way of having them connected, and then you can use the 6 VCAs directly into the system as well. But there's also one caveat that I think is really cool. So here's about the Hex Mix, but if we turn to the Hex Pander, let's see here, we go to the Hex Pander, because I actually read the manual. So if you check the Hex Pander here, you can see that this says Hex Pander connector. And using this cable, you power the Hex Pander through the Hex Mix. I thought it was pretty nifty. And you get sort of the straight line here, like on a traditional mixer. You get the auxiliaries. Yeah, you have the sends here. You have the mixer section with the EQ and whatnot. So I think that makes a lot of sense. And lastly, we have this cute little module here. So this is pretty much the smallest module in this range. This is the Hex Mix Vca, and basically it's a 6-channel VCA. That's pretty much it. I think it's a clever way. You know, you have 6 VCAs, and like Myler Melodies shows in his video, you can't really have too few VCAs. I don't think I have like VCAs on my Matrix Mini Brute 2 and on the Mother 32, so I don't have any like standalone VCAs. So I thought this would be really good as well to check out and kind of use and see, see what's up with that. And then to sort of complete it all, you can just put these two side by side. And here we go. Makes a lot of sense. You have the 6 VCAs here going into the mixer unit. So that's pretty cool. Now I just need some ADSR modules. Probably the first module I'll be using in the system is the Hex Mix, because I really need the inputs and outputs, for example, for my drum modules to be able to mix them together. So that's going into the rack pretty quickly for sure. So I know not everybody likes the unboxing type videos, but if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button, consider subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.